If you tour enough online garage workshops, you start to get the impression that every shop needs more. More machines, more benches, more cabinets, more tools. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that a bigger shop is automatically a better shop. Before long, you're looking at equipment instead of projects. But every stationary tool takes up space, costs money, and changes how your shop works. Before bringing another tool into the shop, it helps to ask a simple question. Does your shop actually need this tool?
When people hear the term stationary tool, they often think about power tools, a table saw, a drill press, a band saw. But stationary tools are much broader than that. A bench vise is a stationary tool. A hydraulic press is a stationary tool. An anvil is a stationary tool. The common feature is not electricity. The common feature is that the tool has a permanent home in the shop. The work comes to the tool instead of the tool going to the work. That distinction matters because it changes how we think about shop setup. Instead of asking what tools we should buy, we start asking what operations deserve permanent space in the shop. That's a completely different question. Every stationary tool exists to make a particular operation easier, faster, safer, or more repeatable. The tool occupies space because you expect to perform that operation often enough to justify the footprint. If the operation rarely happens, the tool may not be earning its place. If the operation happens every week or every day, then a dedicated tool can make a lot of sense. Take a bench vise, for example. A vise does not cut, drill, sand, or grind. By itself, it doesn't really do anything. Yet it may be one of the most useful stationary tools in the entire shop. The reason is simple. A vise acts like a third hand. Anytime you're filing, sawing, tapping threads, bending metal, deburring a part, or tightening hardware, you eventually run out of hands. The vise solves that problem. It supports dozens of different operations. That's why a good vise often earns permanent real estate on a workbench. The same idea applies to a drill press. Could you drill holes with a handheld drill? Of course, most people do. But a drill press brings repeatability and accuracy. The hole starts where you want it. The drill stays square to the work. Depth can be controlled. Small parts can be fixtured. If your projects regularly involve drilling holes, a drill press can earn its place very quickly. A bench grinder is another good example. Many people can get by with a handheld grinder, but a bench grinder is always ready. Need to deburr a part? Walk over and do it. Need to touch up an edge? Walk over and do it. Need a wire wheel? It's already mounted and ready. The convenience removes friction from the workflow. Small interruptions disappear, and the work keeps moving. A miter saw follows the same pattern. Could you cut lumber with a circular saw? Absolutely. I do a lot of work with a circular saw in a guide. But if you're constantly making crosscuts, building projects from dimensional lumber, or cutting multiple pieces to the same length, a miter saw becomes a dedicated cutting station. The setup time disappears. The operation becomes faster and more repeatable. Notice something about these examples. None of them were chosen because another shop owner said they were necessary. They were chosen because they support operations that happen frequently in my shop. That is where many shop owners get off track. They begin buying tools because they saw them in somebody else's shop. The tool may be excellent. The problem is that the operation may not exist in their workflow. A machine can be impressive and still be unnecessary. For example, many people assume every shop needs a table saw. I don't own one. That's not because table saws are bad tools. They are incredibly capable machines. The question is whether the operation they perform occurs often enough in my shop to justify the space. For my work, a circular saw and guide handle those tasks well enough. The operation does not occur frequently enough for a table saw to earn permanent floor space. The same logic applies to band saws, lathes, milling machines, and many other specialty tools. They are not bad investments if they support the work you actually do, but they become expensive storage racks if the operation only happens once or twice a year. Another thing to consider is that every stationary tool consumes more than floor space. It also consumes storage space, electrical capacity, maintenance time, and mental bandwidth. Every machine needs accessories. Every machine needs supplies. Every machine needs a place to live. The larger the shop becomes, the more resources are devoted to supporting the equipment. That doesn't mean you should avoid stationary tools. It simply means they should pay rent. A tool should contribute enough value to justify the space it occupies. If a tool consistently saves time, improves accuracy, or removes distractions from your projects, it is probably earning its keep. If it spends years collecting dust while you work around it, the space may be better used elsewhere. This idea even extends beyond traditional machines. Some shops benefit from a dedicated sharpening station. Others benefit from a dedicated layout area. Some benefit from an abrasive station where sandpaper, files, and grinding tools are always ready to go. These are not necessarily expensive additions, but they support operations that happen repeatedly. When evaluating a stationary tool, I like to think about 4 questions. How often will I perform this operation? Does the tool perform the operation significantly better than the alternative? How much space will it consume? And will it improve the overall flow of work in the shop? Those questions often reveal the answer quickly. A tool that gets used constantly may deserve a permanent location. A tool that only solves an occasional problem may be better borrowed, shared, rented, or replaced with a portable alternative. In the end, the goal is not to build the biggest shop. The goal is to build the shop that supports your work. Ignore the idea that more is always better. A stationary tool is not a trophy. It is a commitment. Every tool you dedicate space to should make your projects easier to complete. Build your shop around the operations you perform, not the equipment somebody else owns. The best stationary tool is not the most expensive one. It is the one that solves a problem often enough to earn a permanent home in your shop. That's what turns an ordinary garage into a workshop that actually works.
Build your shop around the operations that you perform, not the equipment somebody else owns. The best stationary tool is not the most expensive one. It is the one that solves a problem often enough to earn a permanent home in your shop. That's what turns an ordinary garage into a workshop that actually works. This video is part of my shop setup playlist, a guide for those who are developing their own garage workshop. Thanks for watching. I've got more to come.